In the heart of the Scottish Highlands, near the serene waters of Loch Ericht, lies Ben Alder, a mountain shrouded in history and mystery. It was here that an old friend John and I embarked on a journey, a quest to uncover the secrets of a long-lost Jacobite hideout. This hideout, known as Cluny's Cage, was said to have been constructed in 1746 following the crushing defeat of the Jacobites following the Battle of Culloden. Historical accounts paint a picture of a treehouse-like structure ingeniously hidden high in the mountains, a sanctuary for Ewan MacPherson of Cluny. Ewan was an important Jacobite. He went into hiding after the Battle of Culloden, eluding the relentless pursuit of government redcoats. For centuries, the exact location of Cluny's Cage has eluded historians, with various theories and supposed locations never aligning perfectly with contemporary records. Determined to get closer to the truth, John and I set off from the tranquil shores of Loch Rannoch, our sights set on Ben Alder. Through rugged terrain and the whispers of the past, we'd hope to uncover the elusive secrets of Cluny's Cage and perhaps write a small part of Scottish history. For generations, Cluny's Cage has been a tantalising mystery, drawing countless adventurers and historians to the rugged terrain of Ben Alder. In 2017, a group called the 1745 Association conducted a significant expedition claiming to have pinpointed the elusive hideout high on a crag above Alder Bay. Strangely, their location didn't align with the historical records, most crucially the detailed accounts within the book The Lion in Mourning. This invaluable document chronicles the harrowing journey of Bonnie Prince Charlie as he travelled from Loch to Ben Alder to meet Cluny in his secret hideout. As you delve into the pages of The Lion in Mourning, place names leap from the text with vivid clarity. This remarkable account, penned during the era by Cluny's own brother Donald MacPherson, details the route to Cluny's hideout, nestled within their ancestral estate of Badenoch. Donald's meticulous descriptions, capturing the essence of the landscape, offer invaluable clues. Each place name and distance recorded in his narrative holds the potential to unlock the location of Cluny's Cage. By aligning these historical markers with contemporary maps, we could narrow down our search area significantly. On the 29th of August 1746, Bonnie Prince Charlie's heading eastwards, having left Loch to seek out his close friend, possibly his best friend, Ewan Cluny MacPherson. He arrives at Corrianure, a mountain east of Loch Laggan, we know today as Corrian Luber, with the BH silent, matching the phonetic description of Cluny's brother Corrianure. On the 30th of August, he travels to Milanure, a small shieling close to Loch Patrick, with Milanure being the phonetic of Milan Oder, again with the DH being silent. They remain at the shieling for a few days, as they are met there finally by Cluny. On September the 2nd, the party travelled to Uskilra Shieling, with the name found on OS maps today as Alta Coolree. The more common name now is Coolra, with a bothy and shooting lodge likely on the site of their former shieling. This is exactly 2 miles from Milanure, just as the Lion in Mourning describes. So far, the distances and place names are completely accurate to the map. September the 5th, Charles Edward Stewart and his friend Cluny retreat into the mountains to his secret hideout. The entry reads, "Move 2 miles further into the mountains to Cluny's Cage in the face of a very high, rough, rocky mountain called the Leither Nil Cheek, part of Ben Alder. The Leither Nil Cheek is known today as the Leither nan Leek, and as documented by Cluny's brother, is exactly 2 miles from Coolra. Why have historians not searched here for possible cage locations?" John and I set up base camp at the foot of the hill, hoping to finally uncover the lost sanctuary of Cluny. But what is the cage, and what are we actually searching for? Records suggest that the cage was an ingeniously crafted refuge blending seamlessly with its rugged surroundings. Perched on the steep face of Letterman Leak, the cage was a true testament to human ingenuity and resilience, as Cluny stayed here for almost 9 years. Rows of trees formed a level foundation interwoven with ropes of heath and birch twigs, creating a round, almost oval structure. Thatched and anchored by a single large tree, it clung precariously to the mountainside, hidden in a thick bush of holly trees. 2 stones, resembling chimney pillars, marked the spot where a fire smoke merged with the rocky landscape, making the smoke nearly invisible above. Inside, this snug hideaway housed up to 7 people, passing their time playing cards, firing bread, and cooking. One question remains. Why has the cage not been found on the Letterman Leak? To understand this, we have to go back to the maps, where there is what I believe to be a red herring stack of boulders romantically named Prince Charlie's Cave, a further 6 miles from Culloden. This is almost 4 miles past the more accurate Lion and Morning description, and is crucially not on the Letterman Leak.
Yep.
John and I debated the pros and cons of the Charlie's Cage site at Alder Bay, and if it could legitimately have been the site of Cluny's cage. To me, it was a red herring, a romantically named stack of boulders miles out with the key search area. Old estate maps from 1771 depict a shieling at Alder Bay, which is at the convergence of glens and is fully open to the south. Should government redcoats have visited the area, the crucial backdrop of rock to hide the smoke is missing from this site. It would have been unlikely that Cluny would manage to hide for 9 years in Alder Bay. The open aspect to the south makes it even harder to imagine the smoke from his bakery would have remained hidden for all those years. John and I searched the full extents of the Letterman Leak from south to north. We searched the zone between the scree boulders and the cliff tops, hoping to find the elusive bakery and chimney, which would be the only remaining part left of Cluny's cage. The mountain wasn't what we were expecting. There wasn't smooth rocks with habitable cavities beneath. We had to remind ourselves it was a chimney, not a cave we were searching for. The crags were composed of badly fractured rock, thousands of years of ice splitting rocks and scattering them down the hillside. Everything was loose, moving below our feet, like a sliding sea of sharp boulders. Loch and Bealach Beath means the Loch of the Birch Pass, and we know from the descriptions of Cluny's brother that this area was once wooded. Letterman Leak means the rocky slope of the slab above the sheet water. This describes it perfectly, although the rock is now shattered and spilling down the hillside. At the halfway point in the loch, a large boulder sits alone, one of the only noticeable features within the scree zone. Directly above it, almost in alignment, is a sharp rock pinnacle, again, one of the hill's only noticeable features. If you had to describe a location with accuracy, these markers would be easy to follow and would signpost a high face of the Leitern Leak that Cluny's brother so clearly describes. The grass ramp is one of the best access points on the hill, with the scree slopes being horrendous to pick through by foot. If I was Cluny, I would have sighted the cage here, and the location matches the descriptions within the line and morning perfectly. Just south of the rock pinnacle lies an example of a place suitable for the cage. There's a rock cavity with flue above, an easy to access first floor and sheltered on two sides. We didn't believe it to be the cage site. There didn't seem to be a single unnatural feature left to help solve the mystery of its location. Red deer had made the site their home most recently, with disturbed earth marking the spot. It's not hard to imagine the cage could have been sighted here 300 years ago, but without any further evidence, we'd searched the Leitern Leak from end to end, and this was the only example of a suitable cage site. We'd spent our time on the Leiter, meticulously searching for fire and chimney features within a world of ice-shattered rock. It had occurred to us that the location of Cluny's cage may be lost to time, shattered and broken within a scree field, lost forever. The proverbial elephant in the room was the actual slab of stone above the sheetwater, the Sron Bilach Beath, a shoulder of Ben Alder, which terminates the southern end of the loch. This rock shoulder had actual slabs of stone and a boulder field full of possible sites. It matches the Gaelic description more accurately of the Leitern Leak, but is a mile or two south of the book's description. Neither of us were convinced, but decided to survey the boulder field from west to east in search for possible sites, in the hope that the only inaccuracy in the account was the distance they had walked from Culloden, however unlikely that may be. We spent our time below Strombilach Beath, exploring the boulder field, possible chimney features, cavities and the spaces below. At the end of the boulder field, furthest from our camp, was a rock cavern below two leaning boulders. Although not the right location, it was another potential cage site, although neither of us actually believed it. Once you enter the cavern, consisting of two large rocks leaning together, there is a cave pit below the eastern boulder. Once you enter this, you can see a narrow passage and a deeper chamber, deep underground. With the precarious nature of the rocks, each one feeling like a human-sized deadfall trap, we ventured no further. It was an intriguing cavern. If Cluny had spent 9 years in the area, surely we were in his footsteps, and he would have likely known about this space too. In many ways, this is another perfect site for Cluny's cage. It matches most of the descriptions, but is a few miles from the described spot. It has underground cavities, two rocks leaning together in a flue for baking. There are birch trees still nestled between the rocks today. The site is 3D, allowing access to any potential first floor, along with a precipitous backdrop of rock crag to hide any smoke. As we left for home, we felt we had surveyed almost every boulder for miles and debated each location in detail. The specific site of the cage remains a mystery, and our only hope was that our expedition helped provide clarity on where to search and what to search for.